Alright guys, this is my hunting bag and some of the stuff that I keep inside. Alright, so here we have the black rack. We'll get this out of the way first. This is by Illusions. You know, you don't have to carry a rack, but I usually like to have it with me. Because if I have a deer off in the distance, I'll try to rattle them in. And then you can kind of see what kind of attitude that deer's in just by seeing how they respond to it. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. You know, you can go ahead and switch to a grunt call if you see that they're not responding to the rattles very well. All right, and these have a lanyard on them, so you can hang it from any branch. They come in quite handy. Illusions black rack. All right, we're gonna go right into the pack. This is a outdoor. I've had this bag for a few seasons now, probably about, let's say about 4 years, and I got it down to pretty much what I like to keep in here. So first thing is the windicator. This is a little powder that pretty much, if you have light winds and you're not too sure where they're coming from, squeeze it and it tells you which way the wind's going. That's very useful. If you're bow hunting, you definitely want to know which way your wind is going. All right, I got a pen in here, and then for my thermocell, I got extra little butane cartridges. I got a bunch of these little pads for the thermocell. More of these wipes. Can't go wrong with the wipes. More butane. And a lighter. Always want to have some sort of source of fire on you. I got more Ziplocs. Definitely want to have Ziplocs in each of your bags. Here's my grunt call. This is an extinguisher. I love this thing. I mean, it goes through all the motions, pretty much. There you go, a little range. Does a little bit of everything. By no means was that any kind of technique. I just kind of flew through there. All right. On this top section, I have a knife sharpener for the knives that I keep in both bags. You have the ceramic side, and then you have a carbide side, and then you also have this diamond blade to sharpen the gut hook and like that. This is made by Smith's. Great little sharpener. I also like to keep some keys in here, you know, keys I use for the game cams or my tree stands or whatever. I have climbers with keys, so if I'm hunting there for the weekend, I'll leave my climber out and I'll just lock it up. Also, I will not go into the woods without my thermocell. I'd rather leave my bow than leave my thermocell. At least if I leave my bow, I can still take pictures. If I leave my thermocell, there's nothing, that ain't gonna work out. I also like to keep a life straw, and in the event of an emergency, you can go ahead and drink water from a stream by sucking it through that straw. It gets the water cleaned down to micron levels. And that's it. That's all I keep in here. I'll have snacks and stuff like that during the hunt that I'll keep in here that I can easily grab. Something that's really been helpful, something you want to keep on your bag, is definitely some sort of carabiner, some sort of hook, so that you can hang it from a limb or your tree stand without it falling. This thing came with a little loop, which is great, but I definitely feel safer with it, the carabiner hanging from my tree stand. That way, you know, if I move or whatever, it's not just going to tumble down to the floor. Next thing here is a Leatherman. You want to have any kind of tool that you might need out there. You know, Leathermen cover quite a wide range of tools, so this little knife does pretty much everything I can possibly think of while I'm in the woods. Another good knife to have is some sort of knife with a gut hook. You don't need to have your most expensive, nicest knife out there. This is just a regular old-timer kind of knife. It has a nice edge on it, and you got your gut hook. So that'll get you set up if you are successful and you want to gut your animal and kind of lighten the load. If you're out there hunting by yourself or whatever the case may be, that's a good way of doing it. Make sure you have a knife, and also have a strap in here that I can tie off, or you know, if you need to strap something up or pull something, it's always good to have rope or strap with you. Inside this little side pocket, I got one of these little scent dispensers. The little waffle that goes in here fell off and it's gone now, but I just put cotton in here, and that usually hangs in there. Put some cotton, drop some dough urine on here, clip it onto a branch. That's it. You know, you get it slow the deers down and be able to, you know, make your shot without having to burp at them or anything. In this other packet, I think I have this other pocket. I have batteries for my flashlight, and just about running out of these other tacks. So you got those. Now we're gonna go to what I have outside of the pack for now. Also on this pack, I like to strap my quiver to here. I don't keep my quiver on my bow. I just strap it to my bag and put the rest down here. Also, what's good to have is a backup flashlight. You might have your regular flashlight that you like to carry, but you know, something cheap or just another flashlight you can keep in your bag is always great. You know, this one has a little flashlight in the front, and it has a panel. I got the batteries out of it right now, but it's got a little panel light. So if you want to hang it from a tree, if you're working on your stand, or you're tying up an animal or whatever, you can go ahead and use that. Okay, so we got some scent killer. I always keep some of this in my bag because on your way to the stand, you're usually probably going to sweat, and while you're in your stand, you're probably going to sweat. So I like to wipe myself down periodically and spray myself again, just to keep the bacteria smells down, and you know, any of your human smells that you can keep off of you. Anything helps, you know, so that's really good. Something that I forgot to mention was this Evercalm. I also keep this in my bag. I usually keep it in a Ziploc bag in case, you know, this thing's like a deodorant stick, so if it melts, it'll get all over your bag, and then your whole bag smells like a herd of deer. That's no fun. You know, usually doesn't go over well with the wifey and the kids. You know, you got your stinky hunting bag in the house. So there's that. I got this little pump. I'm not sure exactly where this came from, but it's great. I mean, you can pump it a few times, and then you fill it. You know, you fill it water, and then you go ahead and pump it up, and then you have this little sprayer here. So you can see that nice little mist. Man, you know, being in the tree stand all day and it's getting hot, this thing really helps cool you down. So, you know, anything that can make you comfortable in your tree stand is going to help you stay in the tree stand longer. If you know you have a certain buck coming by around noon, then you want to try to be there for that time when they're there. You know, or if you're going to get an early start, you definitely want to have stuff that's going to make you comfortable. That way you know you're paying attention and you're actually hunting. You're not sitting there uncomfortable. With that, we also have an umbrella. This little umbrella is basically a basic type that goes on the tree. It's I'm sure they have a bunch of different ones, but this one in particular, it goes on a hook and it straps around the tree, and it's not that bad. It's not the best quality, but it's definitely a help. Definitely helps you keep the sun off your back. So I highly recommend one of those. I won't go in without my flashlight either. Well, actually I will, but from time to time, you definitely want to have a flashlight. This is a good little cost flashlight. Sorry about that. It's PX25. It's an extremely bright flashlight, and 250 lumens, 3 AAA batteries. This thing is great. Waterproof. I mean, it's just a great thing to have when you're in the woods. If you're hunting, and I usually stay in my stand until the sun goes down completely, and a good flashlight is definitely worth having out there. Another lighter is the one I keep in my scouting bag. I always like to bring out my SD card with me as well. And here's a GoPro. This is what I've been using for my last few videos. It's worked out fine. I do plan on getting other camera equipment, but for now, that's what I use. A hat. Definitely want to have a hat while you're hunting, and this one has a little bib in the front, covers your face, and I usually have a ski mask with me just in case I'm feeling like using that. my binoculars. You've seen this in my scouting video. This is also, well, in the scouting portion of this video, this is also something that I have with me all the time when hunting. Next is a battery charger. This little guy here is great. I think it's like 15 or 20 bucks that I got at Best Buy. About 5,200, I'm sorry, it's 1,000 or 1,200 mAh. And this thing will charge your phone about 5 times. It's great. With that, I always bring my cord as a USB here, and on this side I have multiple different options to for different devices. My iPhone, and I got a mini USB that I can use for charging my flashlights and the GoPro and different things like that. Another thing that I have here is these guys, little wafers. These are great. These, even though if you wash your clothes with the unscented soap, you can throw this in your bag when you put your stuff away, and it keeps your clothes smelling like soil. Great little product. Definitely want to have some of these. I also hang these for my hat or for my stand whenever I'm out there. Toilet paper. Can't have too much of this stuff. Definitely want to have toilet paper in your hunting bag. There's nothing worse of getting caught out there without it. You know, you can only cut off so many sleeves of your shirts before you run out of shirts with sleeves. So carry the toilet paper. Alright guys, I tried to get through that pretty quick because the last time I did this I ran out of time. So if you have any questions or any things you might want to add to the video, or tell people, you know, other things that you might carry, mention it down in the comments. And I'll have another scouting video coming up here pretty soon. Look out for that, and probably this next week I'll put that one out. Alright guys, stay tuned.